Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Today we're looking at a budget hotel, a Cebu R Hotel, and it appears that there are actually two Cebu R hotels in Cebu City. I'm not familiar with the second one. This one is in Mabolo, quite near to SM Mall as well as Ayala Mall in Cebu City. And they've got some snacks down here. They've got a couple of computers if you don't have your computer along. They also have a restaurant that's open, I believe, from 6 a.m. until about 10 p.m., I believe, and a gym. So I'll show you around those few rooms as well.
Part of Cebu.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Cebu Art Resort. Okay. Interesting.
Newly opened. We just opened last
Okay.
June.
Okay. And you have a gym
We have a
massage?
gym. We have a massage on the 12th floor.
And what?
Restrooms?
Massage.
All right. And this is standard?
This is our suite room.
Suite?
Yes.
And this is called the suite room. And for a couple people, got a stocked refrigerator. Of course, you'd get charged for the different things that you'd use out of that. And it has Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi in all the rooms, as well as cable television. And I don't like to give prices out for hotels, but because just like airlines, prices for hotels vary greatly through the week and through the seasons. But anyway, this lists for 2,250 pesos per night for two people, and which is about $44 US. But you will find that rates bounce all over the place on the internet as you go on the booking sites. This is really nice. Two sinks, so two people can be in there using that at the same time. Very unusual to see a bathtub in almost any hotel in town. Some of the higher end ones have them, the executive suites, and you have a separate shower as well, which is nice. So you could use one or both. And I've had a couple friends, a couple subscribers stay here, and they said they liked it. Sometimes people are, when you live on an rent on an off street like this, some people get a little scared about walking down the alley, but I've been there many times, never had any issues. This is a deluxe.
Yes.
Okay, and a deluxe is two beds?
Yes. Two double bed.
Okay. One interesting note, my friend stayed here about 2 years ago. And when we first walked in, a different day than this, there was a girl behind the counter. And right away she looked at him, she said, welcome back. And, he didn't remember, he didn't have any conversations with her that he remembered. But it tells you something about many Filipinos, and I've found that as well. As I walk, once I've walked a street a couple of times, people start recognizing me and greeting me before I greet them. And I tend to greet people quite often on the street as I walk, and it's just an interesting point about the Filipino people. But look like pretty comfortable rooms, and everybody I've talked to said it's pretty quiet. There's a lockdown safe there. Like I said, the street outside is kind of a side street. It's a couple blocks from the main road, so you don't get a lot of street traffic, although that street outside gets quite a bit of, you get some jeepney traffic as well as a lot of taxi traffic. So there again, it's not too difficult to catch a taxi. But the noise seems to be not bad there anyway.
Hello.
This one, so you can
Okay.
hear something there.
So-
Or cook.
What are your hours here?
Open until 10 in the evening, 6 a.m. to 10 in the evening.
6 a.m. till 12. Till 10, okay.
Yes. So we offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay. They also have some outside seating out here, which I'll show you in a second. And friends sat out there the other day when we had a huge downpour. One of the longest rains flooded some of the streets. But we sat out here and we stayed relatively dry, sitting around along this wall over here. And it's covered up above. But quite a bit of seating, which is nice. Some of these little hotels don't have a whole lot of seating. So you're kind of fighting for space. But there's Mabolo Garden Flats condominium down that way, and you can see the street down there. Got a little restaurant across the street. All right, we're looking at Google Maps here, and Cebu Har Hotel in Mabolo right here. Give you an idea where that's at. SM City Mall is right down here. And so you're not very far. I've walked that distance a number of times. Even I used to live up here in Mandawi. Let's see, I used to live up in this area, I think. And I used to walk all the way down to SM Mall. About 3 kilometers, I think, from there. This is maybe a kilometer or so, 0.6 miles, a little over half a mile from there to the mall. And then Ayala Mall is right here in this little area here. This area is Cebu Business Park, which is owned by Ayala, and the big Ayala Mall is right there in the middle. There's actually a second Cebu R hotel. I wasn't aware of that, but I see it shows up over here, and have to get over there one day. So it gives you an idea where you're at. And let me see, let me zoom in here a little bit, give you a little bit better idea where. And nice thing about these Google Maps is that you can really see they're not always accurate. I think anybody can put markers on maps anymore, and they're not always real accurate. So be careful if you're. I've done that when I first came here. I took up Google Maps and I was looking for something, a condominium, and I'm walking all over these streets where it says I'm right there, and it's no such place. But anyway, here you have Seda, Ayala. Seda is Ayala's hotel brand, and they actually bought that from Marriott and redid it. And so this is Ayala Mall, so you're not very far at all. Depending upon how you like to walk, you could walk that distance. This little street here is pretty narrow, lots of traffic, lots of taxis on that street, so there's no problem getting a taxi usually. In the case of for instance, rush hour traffic, rain and rush hour traffic will cause a shortage of grab cars as well as taxis. So keep that in mind. And there again, you're not very far from SM Mall right down here. You have Radisson Blu and Bayfront Hotel. Got a comment from somebody recently. They said they watched my video about Bayfront Hotel and they were wondering where the My Bus terminal was, which is right across the street from Bayfront Hotel. The standard rooms, the lowest priced room, they were all filled up, so I was not able to video a standard room. But I think they were listed on one site online for about 19 US dollars, so less than 1,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos is about 20 US dollars, just so you can start rounding things off. A million pesos is about 20,000 US dollars. But nice clean place. From what I've heard from different people who've stayed here, relatively quiet. It's a relatively short walk to SM and Ayala. Some people will not want to make that walk. The road outside doesn't have sidewalks, so you're playing cat and mouse a little bit with the different cars. But cars look out for you a little bit. The motorbikes and cars and jeepneys. They won't intentionally run you over. Let me put it that way. And but some people are not comfortable, especially at night. And when I first got here, I must say, I walked down some dark streets, and I was wondering. I was a little apprehensive. But since then, I walked down many streets, daytime and nighttime. Never had any issues. But it could happen anywhere in the world, anytime, any place. So you just need to be aware of your surroundings and protect your valuables any place you're at. Especially if you're in a foreign country. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video. Please share the video. Please subscribe. I've got lots of videos coming up. I've made visits to different hotels as well as condominiums. and I've got a lot to put up. I've got a lot of my commentary about Philippine life coming up, and I'm working on one of those right now. So we'll see you next time.